I have to be careful about how I communicate this, but it's true because experience is the teacher, which is the feedback, right? And the feedback is when others communicate back to you um, what you thus learn as that feedback, right? And so it's like I covered in a video that I did a little while ago when I first got up about being a fractal antenna, knowing what's going on, right? And so I'll give you an example of, when you're online, you're mapping all this holographic information, hypertext, right? And so your supercomputer's running all these calculations, right? Calculus between negative and slash positive, right? The multiplication and the division and the addition and the subtraction, right? And the exchange rate of what? Energy, consciousness is experiencing itself connected to every other living cell, every other living cellular organism, right? The molecular level with a relationship that fire and ice have, right? Between two extremes on the electromagnetic spectrum. Balance. The balance of a cross, the center point of a cross. The first vertical line and the first horizontal line. And the center point of balance between the two with 4 quads, right? And 2 hemispheres, right? The hemispheres, right? Dark and light. Sun up and sun down. Got to cool the engine down. Atmospheric pressure, right? And so what I realized is that the speed at which you're processing data, the vortex, the heart and soul, right? Experiencing real light, which is living energy, with a soul integrated with a spirit. How much you aware of any one moment of now time, which is called a magnetic moment, which is when those magnets are opening and closing at the speed at which we're all experiencing being connected with each other at this cellular level, which is the planetary cellular memory banks between density and dimension. Right? Okay, so for example, I'm putting a number of links into different windows of folks that I know. How many of those links do you think they actually go and then go spend, whether it's 10 minutes, because that little video is only 10 minutes. It could be a video of 30 minutes. It could be a video that I watched only part of the other day that was 3 hours. I don't have 3 hours to watch all that. Why? Because I'm doing other things that I choose to go do. So it might be that I missed 2.5 hours of information that was being shared by that person's experiences that I missed. Right? So what happens is that when I'm putting links in, it's like I have listened to either part of or all of the information that's being communicated that is in this link, because I realize that you have questions that you're asking me, and the answers might come through that link. But whether or not you choose to hit that link that I put in there that might help answer the questions that I realize that you have that you're asking me, the answers are in that link. But whether you go to that link to experience the information that I already experienced, of when you experience it, between past, present, and future. Right? Okay, so now what happens is I'm realizing, God, I must have put 30 or 40 links up there. All the information that are being asked about now was in all those links. Okay, so that was just a complete waste of energy. Why did I put all those links in there if they're not even going to be used? Well, here, you might want to holographically map and numerically quantify all the information that's being experienced on the internet. And you realize it's a useless platform. Because everything's already happened. And those are called time loopers, right? Because any information that I experience now, I'm experiencing in the now. Okay? So now you're going to experience what I'm experiencing right now by virtue of me communicating what I'm communicating to you right now by virtue of doing that with my heart and my soul. But when you experience that, you may never experience that, even though we're all connected, right? Nevertheless, anybody that watches this video is going to experience it after I'm experiencing what I'm communicating to you. That means you're experiencing what I recorded in the past that you're going to experience in your now time moment, which means you're experiencing something that already happened, because everything is happening simultaneously. Yeah. Right. And so you can imagine what there was this like when I was 4 years of age, right? And you're mapping the entire planetary consciousness terrain, and you realize I'm in a fallen system. It's broken. That's a broken motherboard. Okay. And how do you know that? Because circuits are being broken all over the place because so many units of consciousness are not properly granted to the battery of Mother Earth. Plug that in. So you realize what they do. Remember the Hegelian dialectic? I mentioned this to a friend this morning. Everything that they're selling you is the result of a problem that they generated in order for them not to lose what? Perception of you. Because now you've got to accumulate more electrons in order to buy what it is that you're now selling you in order to maintain what you're aware of to be with them, because now you're dependent on them to get what you need as a result of what they did to the environment, which is the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, all the water that flows through the planet. Actually, it's across the entire planetary consciousness terrain of a cross, which is 4 points, right? North, east, south, and west, earth, wind, water, and fire. Okay, so the air is polluted, the water is polluted, the land's polluted, the mineral kingdom's polluted, the entire planet is polluted. So they pollute everything, and now what they do is, since they're in the business of what? As inverters, they need all your electrons in order to maintain what they're aware of, right? So how do they do that? By selling us back through technology to maintain our perception of them. Because now we need to accumulate more electrons in order to buy those things that we need to do as a result of what they do to the environment. When Mama Earth has already given us everything we need, that means ascending with Mama's atmospheric crystal river spiral. Letting it all go, letting it all go, letting it all go. Because I used to say to myself as a kid, what do I got to do? I got to load into my memory all these things that they're selling me, and therefore I've got to go work at a job in order to accumulate electrons in order to buy what it is that I don't already need, because Mama Earth has already given me everything that I need in order to be free, which means I don't need money. That was my experience living in a treehouse on the island of Kauai. I thought, wow, I'm not aware of an inverter anymore. Now I'm with a torque converter, which is Mother Earth, because, hey, there's coconuts. Hey, everything that I need and energy through the plants. Whoa, how about being a breatharian, just breathing pure energy, running gate speed, the fastest gate speed, which is what? Hyperspeed, which is hypersensitivity, because all our sensors are now amplified to an intense magnitude. The intensity of everything that we experience, because we know that we're connected to everything at every level of a fractal antenna. I know. I'm a nature boy. Nature girl, join as one. I'm a girl boy, join as one. Right? So that's a high-speed magnet, right? Gifting love away, which is gifting electrons away. So as I mentioned to a girl this morning, right? You want to gain mass or lose mass? You want things to go slower, or do you want things to go faster? You want your atomic speed to rise, which is vertical, which is ascending. Then you want to do what? Increase your speed, which is accelerating the gifting of electrons, which means now you're spinning faster in balance with that cross. Man. Giving away energy, giving away electrons at the highest rate of speed. So you know that's the law of one. I'm experiencing being one. Yeah, a D12 transharmonic, a unity wave. I'm experiencing perfect balance in the waves, which means there's no broken circuits, which means there's no broken arrows, which means the gyro dome is not broken. It means the motherboard is not broken. That's called perfect balance in a sphere, which is an atom sphere, which is atmospheric pressure. The balance between acid and alkaline, the full electromagnetic spectrum. That's how simple it is. I remember you know what Lay said to me one day? And this is, I realize that laughter is medicine, but I realize also it's not funny. she mentioned to me, she says, you know, most children, and she was referring to Lemurian, okay, learn all this basic stuff by age 7. And she mentioned the age 7, and then you get into the rainbow and 7 colors. There must be some connection there. She used to tell me about how there used to be triple rainbows out in Hilo Bay. Her name was known as Gila Girl. I believe she went back to New Zealand. If you happen to see her in a flash, I'll let Lay know she is a Kanaka Bahole, right? Which is a Kapuna, which is a spiritual elder with the Lemurian community. Thank you all very much for being here. We love you all. Be good to yourselves.